2021 is a year that brings the possibility of new beginnings. But before we get into 2021, let's rewind on 2020.
Happy New Year.
Oh. I thought you were talking to me. I'm ready.
Wait, what are we doing?
Music quiz. So I'm going to play a song, and it's buzzing, and you have to guess
Do you
the
want
song.
song?
The artist and the song. I need love the way you lie. Eminem. Ready?
Another one, Bites the Dust by Queen.
Correct. Colin?
Is it Vanilla Ice Baby?
No.
It's Tricky by DMC. Or Run DMC.
Correct.
So in January 2020, like just thinking back to like what things were like this time last year, I can't even believe like how much things have changed in just a year. So yeah, so it kind of goes without saying that like obviously 2020 was like one of the hardest years. So this time last year, obviously I had no idea that there was going to be a pandemic. I was in my final year at university and yeah, I just had no idea where I was going to go or like where life was going to take me. And yeah, I just kind of feel like I was a completely different person back then. Pre-COVID 2020 did have some good moments. You know, I got to spend a lot of time with friends. And then in February/March time, before the pandemic hit, so I competed with my cheer team twice, once in February and once in March. It was right before lockdown, so those memories I treasure so much just because that was, you know, not that we knew at the time, but that was the last time I was ever going to see any of them. And, you know, there's still people who I still haven't seen now and it's been like 10 months. So yeah, just so surreal. Yeah, and then the week before the pandemic hit and we all went to lockdown, I got elected into my job, which I'm currently doing now. And literally I had no idea that was gonna happen. So there's loads of pictures from it and stuff, and everyone was dressed like obviously like really nice. But I was so convinced, like I was 110% convinced that I wasn't gonna get the job. So I was like wearing leggings and a t-shirt and like my hair in a messy bun, and I had my glasses on, which if you know me, you know that I don't wear my glasses. Yeah, so that was kind of funny. But yeah, but I got elected into that and I knew I had the job in March time. I started in July officially, but I kind of started training in like June. And then obviously we went to lockdown in March, and the first 13 weeks of lockdown were really, really weird. So all my housemates who I'd lived with last year, they'd gone home and I was just like sitting on my own, and I just, yeah, it was really weird, like not having, like I literally had no human contact for like 13 weeks. So we had like Zoom quizzes and stuff. Lockdown happened so suddenly that like, you know, we didn't even really have time to process it. So that was really weird. And then I wrote my dissertation as well in April. So I had to write my dissertation completely, you know, everything online, you know, not really much support from my tutor just because of the online thing. And yeah, and I was so convinced I was going to fail uni and that I wouldn't graduate. And yeah, I have no idea how I pulled it out of the bag, but somehow I did. So that was July, and then I moved into this house where I'm currently at, also on the 1st of July. So I moved in with new housemates and stuff. Yeah, and then in August I turned 21. A lot of people in 2020 didn't get to have any kind of birthday celebration, so I'm really, really lucky and grateful that I did. One of the things I did really struggle with in 2020 was, you know, I felt like I had no direction. I feel like my life was just a constant stream of like waiting for lockdown to be over, waiting for, you know, restrictions to be lifted and stuff. And I did get to do, you know, some of the stuff that I'd hoped to, but nowhere near as much as, you know, obviously what I'd planned. And I'm sure that's the case for everyone. But yeah, I think that's where I was at. So yes, that brings me kind of into like my goals for 2021. Yeah, so one of my goals for 2020 is to be a lot more organised. So I'm going to sit down like every morning and like plan out my day and like how I'm gonna be like productive and stuff. And I'm gonna plan out my week as well of a Monday morning, you know, just like what my goals are for the week. And then kind of my daily updates will be like my overall goals, but like what I'm gonna do that day to get there. So one of my goals for 2021 as well is to be a lot more consistent. So I have a really bad tendency to, you know, get this idea and I'm like, I really want to do it. And then, you know, a couple of weeks later I'll have forgotten all about it and, you know, I'll never really finish it. So I start all these projects and I never really go through with it. And I always say, I'll do this, but then I never actually do it. So yeah, 2021 is hopefully going to be the year where I actually, you know, do finish stuff and like stick to, you know, plan. I think the most important thing is that I'm constantly like learning the new skills and getting better at it. And, you know, yeah, that's one of my goals. And I'd like to get more into reading, but I bought a few books already that I want to start reading. So hopefully I'll get into that and, you know, stop feeling like I'm just being dragged along by, you know, the pandemic and whatever's happening in the world, and start actually feeling like actually I'm making decisions for myself. And just accepting that I'm not going to be perfect, but as long as I'm working towards something, and as long as I'm getting better every single day and, you know, consistently putting the effort into, you know, the things that I want to achieve, I think I'll get there. And then the last thing that I really want to do for 2021 is I want to start accepting things that I can't change. So again, I think this kind of goes back into like, you know, the coronavirus and stuff. I was obviously really grateful to be safe and to have my family be safe during the pandemic and stuff, because that's the most important thing. But also, you know, it kind of felt like, why is this happening? Like, it's not fair, which, you know, is normal, I think, to feel that way. So I'm going to try and start accepting things that I can't change. So I'm going to, as I said, I'm going to try and like, you know, make the most of what I do have. So this year is going to be the year for me really focusing on myself. If there's people who don't want me in their lives, that's fine. You know, that's the thing that I can't change. I'm going to accept that and carry on doing what's best for me, really. And hopefully, obviously, I'm not putting any, you know, massive hopes on it. But hopefully I'll be able to travel a little bit more this year and see a little bit more of the world. And yeah, and hopefully I'll get back into a club before the end of the year. But who knows? But yeah, I've got some pretty like fun videos coming up that I'm really excited about. 2021 is the year for having a growth mindset. I think I've mostly covered everything. This video is probably really long.
Yeah.
Happy New Year!
Bye.